I'm going to be at the Funny Bone in Richmond, Virginia. I'm doing 4 shows, April 4th and 5th. I will be in Spokane, Washington, May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at the Spokane Comedy Club. Doing 5 shows in Spokane, Washington, May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, Spokane Comedy Club. DanSoder.com for tickets. See you then. Bye. When you come back, do you miss living here?
I think I don't really remember how I did it physically living here.
How long have you been in LA?
Since 2012.
Holy shit, really?
But I moved back for 1 year. I was here for 2016.
Oh yeah, after we did Ireland,
Yeah.
you moved back here for a year, but you've been there since 2012?
Yeah.
So were you there? Are you in LA longer than you've been in New York?
Yeah, I was only in New York for 4 years.
So you're like a full Los Angelino.
Yeah, I guess, but the people are starting to, everyone's always like, I'm like, what are you talking about? The people are great. And now I'm just like, oh, this is not, it's not, I haven't found my people in LA. And
What is it specifically, that they're phonies?
you can't have fun.
Why?
Nobody,
What do you mean?
I think like here I've been having fun, just no one's like mean to each other. So then when I'm being like mean and funny, people like just sit there and take it. And you're like, whoa.
You're also,
We're supposed to be comics.
you're a comic and from Pennsylvania, the
Yes.
Philly area.
Yes.
Philly is similar to like a Boston or like a Chicago, a lot of ball busty energy. And it's like people in LA are like, I'm sorry, is this aggression?
Or yeah, no, they're very like, and also like you're really not supposed to tell the truth in LA. I'm like, oh.
That's why
I didn't know. It's like so obvious you're not supposed to tell the truth. Like
Yeah.
the way you get into Hollywood is like they're like, oh, we can trust that you're not gonna like tell the truth. And in my head, I'm so shocked by this now.
the fact that actors ever thought that they could tell us how to vote
Oh, it's so bad.
is wild. That for years they would come out and go, this fall, vote. And it's like, you're
Nobody likes
a liar.
who you are. Yes.
You suck. You have to pretend to be someone else so that we like you.
Well, just even actors doing podcasts and stuff, you're like, we're supposed to know less about you. We're supposed to know
Stop.
nothing about you. I don't want to know if you're in the Baha'i religion. Rain Wilson. It's like weird. I don't want to know what you guys are
And then
up
it
to.
ruins the character.
Yes.
They
That's why I never
never-
watched Billings. I knew you. I go, I can't watch Soder.
Yeah, you go, I know he's retarded.
I know. Listen, I can't watch this.
I know he's stupid. There's no way he's
I know
capable
you're
of
good
it.
because my dad liked it.
Yes.
But I do get nervous, or like when I watch my friends, and it's just hard to. I'm just thinking more like,
Yeah.
where are the lights? Where are the?
Yeah.
Like, why is my friend being another character?
I always think about them practicing right before it happened. If
In the
whenever
mirror
I
or
watch
something, or like nervous.
watching my friends like go like that soft practice where you're not saying the words.
You are a good person. You are a good person.
You're a good.
You're a good person.
Yeah.
You gave me good advice though when I was doing that scene for Terrifier.
Terrifier 3 out now. Go watch. Andy
That's
Lederman.
what's up. I
is
bullied
in it.
my way onto that one. See,
Yeah.
if I wasn't a bully, I would never get anything.
You're a very effective bully.
Well, I'm not ever doing anything. I'm trying to I'll have fun.
You're not an evil bully.
I'm just trying. I used to always bully. This sounds like so fake, but I did. I used to bully the bullies. Like, so I was always like defending the like short guys or whatever in school and like fighting these people.
But you know how they have the
And
like,
then it shifted and I'm like,
you know how they have like chaos good, chaos neutral, chaos bad?
no, but
There's
me
like
about it.
bully good, bully neutral, bully bad.
Yeah.
And I think like you fall under bully good. So does Shane.
Yeah.
Shane is a guy,
And we're from Philly. It's like
Yeah.
built into us.
but you're like, oh, he's like a nuclear deterrent.
No,
You're
I
like,
love what he does.
can-
Burr does it too. Like Shane's like such a good call out guy. Like
Yeah.
he's so good. Like, and I just grew up being a call out person.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh wait, people don't want to become like, oh, it never occurred to me people didn't want the truth. I always thought like, oh, it'd be easier. We'll just get it done with.
As a people pleaser, it's a superpower to me. When
Yeah.
people go, that's not how that is. And you go, what are
Here's
you
the
doing?
problem. I'm also a people pleaser. So then I suffer.
So you do the bullying and
And then I
you
suffer
go,
over the bullying.
you go, why the fuck did I do that?
Yeah. I go, oh, kind of. I don't know what it is. I'm just like,
Have you had
I want
it?
people to like me. And then I do very unlikable things. And I'm like,
Well, have you?
but it's likable to me and people that are like me.
So has that happened to you a lot in LA? Have you done stuff and then people have gotten mad and you haven't realized they're mad until later?
So many people
and
will
then you
like
go, I was just
confront
kidding.
me and I'll go, what? I go, like, it'll be so much time will have passed that I won't even know. They won't remember what I said or did. And I'm like, I promise you, I can tell you what time period it was. Like, you know, so it was like Rick Glassman. I did his podcast and we talked about how I had said something that like offended him years ago.
Sure.
He was like, it was just really mean. And I was like, okay. So when we were hanging out, since we don't remember what it was about, when we were hanging out, I had just come from New York, right?
Yeah. So you were hopped up on the...
This is what we do, right? Like if I sit at the table at the cellar and I'm not passed, like Michelle Wolf will like take the thing and goes, just pay breakfast and put it in my face. I don't think you should be here. And it's funny. And it's not, it's like hilarious. You know?
That was a very funny move. By the way, a move...
She'd put the little table tent thing right in front and I wouldn't leave.
Credit where credit is due. Schumer at her peak. Unbelievable at that.
Yes.
Someone would sit down and Schumer would only break conversation to put that in front of the person.
It's so good.
And then look back in a hilarious way.
It's great. It's funny.
There's for those of you who don't know, the back table at the Comedy Cellar has a small sign that says only performers of the Comedy Cellar can sit at this table. And
And I just ignored that all the time. And people would be like, stop. And I'm like, guys, you're my friends. It's weird if I'm not sitting with you. I just never auditioned.
You wanted to sit at the satellite table?
No, but then you like sit over there and you're looking at your friends. I'm like, what are they laughing about?
That happens a lot.
But it's true. I mean, it's the rules, but I just kind of like don't.
Where it sucks is where a lot of famous people come in and then the famous people take the table. And then like, if you're working there that night, you have to sit at the satellite table and you're almost like, I don't want to sit around. I think celebrity is almost dead now. I think it's
I'm
been
living in the Walking Dead right now.
What do you mean? In
LA is like it's ending and people are clinging and desperate and it's so weird. It's still I like love LA too. So
What do you love about it?
I don't know. Every time I go on the road, I'm so happy to come home. It's so beautiful. It's so nice there. I just like it.
I can understand that. That's how I feel about here.
I love driving, being driven a lot more than driving, but
I did notice because I was just out there last week, I don't look at my phone because I'm driving.
It's fun. Well,
I don't like LA.
You get over that.
I don't like LA.
You always don't like LA, and that's fine. I feel like I see a version of you that just moved to LA and is in a different world. You're like, no, this is where I see you. This is where I see you. You're like, imagine all the people. You're like in that thing. Imagine if you had just blown up and run that. Yeah. It's so hard to be a celebrity comedian because it's like if you're the comic I like, you're an honest comic and you bust balls and stuff. But then you get into this and you just see them tighten up.
I think celebrity like stand-up comics that were celebrities, like mainstream actual celebrities. I don't think that can exist anymore.
Yeah.
I think after COVID and all that shit, it can't exist because now you go like, we know you're phonies. Yeah. All celebrities are phonies. Because that Imagine video was so fucking lame. And
anything you're upset about in this world or country right now, like I blame like the Gaza debacle on that video. Like everything that's happened is that video's fault.
Like the breathe in of like.
Well, did you watch Meghan Markle's show? I was watching it last night. It's so delusional and crazy. These people are insane.
I'll see your Meghan Markle and I'll raise you.
Alec Baldwin?
Yeah. I watched it. Katie showed it to me last night. Can I tell you right now, Amy?
I'm like, can you shoot me in the head? Because I'm uncomfortable.
It upset me. Now, I would say this with my full chest out, 30 Rock is probably my favorite show of all time.
We want to like Alec Baldwin.
I did a movie with him. He was fantastic. I got to like actually, and this was before he had his 7 kids. You look at a man.
The 7 kids makes me sick.
And the 7
kids aren't going to make up for one wonderful woman, one cinematographer. You could keep popping those kids out, but a life was taken.
It doesn't transfer. There's no rollover minutes.
He makes them stand on each other's shoulders and like wear her jacket.
Yeah, he goes, put her clothes. He goes, that's it. Put her clothes on. Now she's back. Now hug her child.
And it is the best voice. It's like the best voice.
He's got the best.
But it is sinister when he's like, you're like, were you upset? I can't tell.
Well, I think he was.
Of course he was upset.
But that reality show is 100% just for his wife. And he's just so tired and miserable. And they keep doing this thing. This is the thing we were talking about that made me upset. They keep acting like the 7 kids wasn't their fault.
Yes.
They keep going like, with these 7 kids. It's like, dude, you went.
Like a stork dropped them.
You went nuts to butt. every one of those 7. You went like,
yeah.
You like
this
got
woman
it
has just such complete control over
because he
him.
ain't Elon. That ain't IVF.
No.
That's dick and puss, old school, like grandma's sauce. Alec made those kids with a little bit of fucking.
She's like yogaing on him.
Yeah, so she's just like pulling his cum out, or she's like, this one right here is called sitting lotus. And he goes, the way you pull my cum out of my penis is incredible. But then
they don't know the names of the kids either. They have to. He's like, I call this one like red, blue. You're like, he's just like, he's too old to keep that much information in his head.
We talked about, Katie and I talked about this last night. The real reality show. Number one, watching this reality show feels like a 30 Rock show that would be in a, like if they did a 30 Rock reunion and they'd be like, Lemon, do you understand that I'm in my own reality show with my 7 children I had with a yoga instructor? And you'd be like, yeah, that's
talking
exactly
about how I killed a woman.
Yeah, I murdered a woman in New Mexico, and then I had to do a reality show with my 7 kids. But you watch it longer, and it became like, I got like car sick. I like, by the end of it, I was like,
It's not a life I want. Like,
I can't watch this. Yeah. But the show I want to watch are his nannies drinking after their shift. Just do that as a podcast.
Well, I always think about like Chris Hansen. Like, I don't know if he's drinking anymore, but he always seemed to have like a drink in his hand when he wasn't popping petties.
Wait, you think?
But I'm just saying, because when you go through trauma, you like, it's
Chris
like
Hansen drank a lot?
There was always like a.
Do you think that's how he hit on women? He's like, take a seat.
I think he just like.
Can I buy you a drink?
I think he was always like, could you play a 12-year-old?
I'm going to read you these sexts back that you've written me. You said, I would love to eat your ass.
Well, his wife, I follow him pretty closely. His
Chris
wife,
Hansen?
yeah, I love him.
I didn't know you're a Hansophile.
Chris Hansen's wife, when he started dating her, her handle was, I love being over 50. Like, isn't that so funny that he was like, the woman that I'm with is stating that she's age appropriate in her handle. She talks about her identity as her age.
That makes me think that he's doing what he was supposed to do on this earth. That he has a sexual thing for older women. So go bust the guys that like the young ones. Because that's where his legacy would have gotten ruined, is if you found out he was like barely legal legal.
Oh, it would be
Chris
a nightmare
Hansen.
if he was just hiding in plain sight, because that does happen a lot.
Well, that's most of the time.
It happens almost 100% of the time. You're like, why would you do that? Why did you play that character? Why did you make that movie? You're like, what?
Have you ever seen a woman with saggy tits? Drives me absolutely through the roof.
I think there is something about guys that are like really proud that they like age appropriate girls. There's something about that too, because I will notice like as I get older, there's certain guys where I'm like, you're getting creepier with me.
Really?
Yeah. I'm
like
like,
as you
like
get
they're almost
older,
like, we're just like adults here, and I'm like, what?
What are you trying to play house?
Yeah, very weird. I'm like, ew.
What is to you as a woman? What is creepier? Guys into barely legal, like young girls, like, oh, that girl's 19, she's so hot, or a guy being like 55 and over, hotchi.
Well, I'm going in a certain direction, so I like the 55 and olders.
Yeah, but now you're embracing
I'm going in a direction. I'm not going down.
But I feel like even if you're a young woman and you see that, you go like, oh, good for them, though. They like what they like.
With the young chicks?
No, the older. I think the older guys are never looked at as bad.
Yeah,
I think they're always like...
Well, my fiance is 11 years younger than me. I don't give a shit if someone's legal, do it. I have a friend who's like, always like, don't do this guy's podcast, or don't do this interview. Like, don't do this club. The booker had a 19-year-old girlfriend, and I'm like, if it's under 18, I'm very upset. I'm very, very upset. If you're grooming up to 18, I'm very upset. I'm very upset.
The claim when they try to go, we were friends.
It's like, you weren't friends.
There's
if
no way.
If you're friends with someone under 18, it's not acceptable.
I can honestly tell you, the only woman I've ever been friends with that I dated is the woman I'm marrying, because I love her more than anybody. But it took me a lot of tries to get there. So when they go, no, we were friends, and then you go, no, you weren't.
You weren't friends.
What were you guys talking about? Cute boys at the mall?
Yeah, you were talking to her about boys. You were inserting yourself as the guy that knows about boys.
Do you think Millie Bobby Brown feels bad for like putting the Drake stuff out there when she was like, no, Drake's my friend, and every adult went, ooh.
Yeah, she has steered kind of clear.
Oh, because she did it. If you watch the interview,
it's so cute and so
innocent.
so bad for him, though. How innocent she said it was so bad for him. So bad for him. I was like, she was just like, yeah, and he helps me with boys. And you're like, no.
Even on that red carpet, everyone went, oh. Like, even when you watch the clip, if you bring it up now, Millie Bobby Brown's this girl, and she's like, no, and it's so cool. I get to text with Drake, and he like tells me he's just like my friend, and he helps me with boys. Everyone was like, oh.
And then she's like, I'm going to get married to my high school boyfriend immediately.
Yeah, I got to lock this up.
She just married Bon Jovi's son immediately.
Yeah, and he was like,
yeah,
perfect.
It's very, she's going through a thing now because everyone's saying she's aging poorly, and she's like 22.
That's so fucked up.
It's so funny.
That's so fucked up. They go,
like, welcome to adulthood.
Yeah, you're checking in with adulthood.
Well, they want you to look older until you're 18.
Yeah, and then they go, ew.
Stay at 18.
I remember when I was in college, it was my sophomore year. It was when Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen turned 18.
People had the countdowns?
And I remember being like, what the I was 19 and I was like, what the fuck? Like seeing like a 22-year-old dude be like, they're 18, and you're like,
and also, I'm not trying to be rude. They're not that hot. It was just that you saw them when they were young and you saw them grow up. That's the thing. Like if they had been like these smoking hot, big titted bitches that were, not that you need big tits to be hot, but you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like it's just the fact that they saw them be little kids and watched them grow up that they thought was hot. You're like, ew.
But man, if we somehow, the confidence of men would skyrocket if we could just flip that. If you just had older women being like, this young stud's about to hit 18, guys would be, it'd be like, you know, Homecoming where they run through the paper where they're like, like go Cougars. We need that. That's what we need for young men. We just need to switch that so that it's like older women being like, excuse me, 17-year-old boy that gets boners when the wind hits him. Are you 18? And he's like, next week.
But Soder, what about how dark the teachers are that bang the female teachers that bang? It's so nasty.
Listen.
I would never be against, like, obviously the kid, enjoy your moment.
Annie.
It's so crazy to look at a little boy and be
no fault on the child. No fault
of course.
On the sweet young
men.
Send
your little weenie pic. Do whatever you want to do.
What I always think about are the adult men that dated those women, or like when the story is
they always have a husband.
Yeah. And then you're like, now, was he aware? Because if you're unaware of it and it happens, there's no way you don't just go like, I'm going to beat the shit out of this guy's. I'm going to go fuck up his dad.
Yeah, you're going to have to fight his dad.
I got to go fight his dad. I got to go fight his brothers.
Does he have a brother in college? Yeah.
I'm going to go blow up his car. I got this guy ruined my family.
But you have to be so embarrassed. I mean, that's the most embarrassing thing in the world. It's going to be in the papers. There's going to be mugshots of your wife.
The YouTube video of Cat Williams losing that fight to the 7th grader? Yeah. And there's a moment where he's like getting choked and he's like, it ain't even over. I ain't even trying to. And like the kid's just behind him and you're like, well, I think we got to take your shit talking card for like at least a couple of years. Yeah. I think the only person that likes when teenagers fuck grown women more than the teenager is the enemy of the husband when it happens.
Oh, yeah, because it's just...
You're like, a kid fucked your wife?
Like a kid. A kid.
That's the part of this situation.
And even like when you turn 40 and stuff, you can be like, I'm still like young old. I'm like the youngest old. You know,
listen,
I'm still like
42. I wear hoodies. I'm cool.
I'm cool. I'm fine. I have my skate shoes on. Yeah, of course.
I play video games.
Yeah,
I'm fucking
still
cool.
But then when your wife is fucking a 14-year-old, you have to be like, I am the oldest man alive. Like she must look at my balls and go like, what is this?
Also, just like the fact that this hairless boy was like, whoa, what do I do? And you're like. Just that conversation where he has to take his glasses off and he goes,
he's like, do you play Fortnite?
He's like, oh, that's crazy. I don't like vegetables. And then you have to be like, when you take your glasses off, you go, am I that bad at eating pussy, Rachel? He has to talk to his wife. Am I that bad? She goes, it's not that.
And the glasses are just readers. Yeah. They're not even like real glasses.
And he has to do the sigh. If you know me, you know I don't want to dress in anything that isn't comfortable because I'm lazy. But some guys want to look good without calling attention to themselves. And Mack Weldon Apparel gives you understated good looks for understated confidence. Not flashy, just classic, always in style, and made from the world's most comfortable performance material. Mack Weldon clothes are designed to fit your style and the demands of modern life. They look like regular clothes, but feel like the latest in modern comfort. Breathable underwear that keeps you cool, dry, and comfy all day. Those are the Air Knit underwear. And crazy comfortable but elevated sweatpants from the Ace collection. Get timeless looks with modern comfort from Mack Weldon. Go to MackWeldon.com and get 25% off your first order of $125 or more with promo code DAN. That's MackWeldon.com, MackWeldon.com, promo code DAN. Your wife's work friend. She's like, you're worried about him? And then you find out,
we're just friends.
And then you find out they're fucking and you're like, I knew it. Pete's 6'3".
How he's 6'3"? Okay.
So he's my height. 5'8".
Yeah, so it was the height.
A taller guy.
It was the height.
But what's great now, if like Katie ever left me for a guy that's like 6'6", I'm like, well, good luck with that. He's going to die like a big dog. So, like, good luck. He left me for a St. Bernard.
Enjoy your St. Bernard. He's gonna enjoy that corpse.
Yeah, he's going to live till he's 9 years old versus me, a nice golden retriever. I'll live till 12 or 13.
You're kind of tall, though. You could go at 11. You could go to 11.
Yeah, I could go at 11 or 12.
You're like in the middle.
I could get hip dysplasia. And
These short guys are going to be pulling all the puss when everyone dies.
They are. They're just going to keep surviving. They stay low to the ground.
Marcelo did my show last night, and I was like, and I went up after him, and he was, talking about like being short or whatever.
Sure.
And I was like, look at Marcelo. Like, he's like the perfect example of being short doesn't matter. If you're funny, rich, famous, have an accent. Like,
losing your woman to someone that's just like hitting her with a different language is another level of pain.
But you also kind of know, like, there's a lot of, like, if I go on vacation, when I was younger, if we would go on vacation, I'd always kind of like meet a guy. Like, that's not that's a guy that's like trying to come to America. Like, he's like, can I come visit
Fiance.
you? Yeah, it's always that. So then if you see that and you kind of know she's getting 90 Day Fiancé, are you excited for the eventual fall?
Yes.
Or,
Yes. It's the excitement is in the whole.
Or are you embarrassed that you're with someone that was so stupid to fall for it?
I think a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I think you're mad that you were with someone so stupid, so you anticipate the fall even more.
Yeah.
Because you go, this idiot's going to fucking crash out.
It's like, I went on vacation to Greece and I met, and you're like, this is not real.
Well, the entire Stella Got Her Groove backstory was fake. He was a gay guy.
And really?
Yeah, like the whole movie they did was like she went down there and a young Jamaican man just got in them guts.
I thought it was a true story.
Yeah, it was based. A woman wrote a book.
Terry McMillan wrote that, I think.
Can you look up if Terry McMillan got swindled? McMillan. But yeah, how Stella Got Her Groove back.
That used to be my genre of books, like black women romance novels.
In Philly,
urban romance novels.
Oh, you loved it.
I read a bunch of this, a day late and a dollar short.
You just loved all that?
I used to love like Tyler Perry things. I was like, I don't know if this is like a Philly thing.
You just got into
loving
it.
Basketball.
You're just like, oh my God, they're playing for love. Yeah, dude, if you
I was like, if Omar Epps is in something, I'm watching it. Now every movie is how Stella Got Her Groove back because they popped Harvey Weinstein and now all the women didn't age out. So all the movies are surrounding these like older women's stories.
Yeah, it's so
which
funny.
Again, I'm going in a direction, so I'm not knocking
you love it? The genre's...
No, I would actually like... I think Candace Owens is working hard to get Harvey out, and I think...
It says it was inspired by Terry McMillan's real life romance.
Oh, okay.
Jonathan Plummer.
Yeah, with Jonathan Plummer.
Who was plumbing into...
Who was taking in some dudes, I'm pretty sure.
He was laying some pipe inside.
Allegedly.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't have Google in front of me, but it is always funny when those true stories that are like when they did The Blind Side.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that family was just using that kid. But the way they made it look was like,
you
no.
Could almost tell, though, that that's what was happening anyway.
Oh,
it's like the Alec Baldwin thing again. The Hilaria being like, I saw a meme from the show. It was like, Hilaria said that like Alex Baldwin wanted to kill himself after. And it's like, okay, then do it or don't.
Yeah.
You don't get points for saying someone wanted to. Someone is dead, so death is not off the table here. I'm not saying he
watch, number one, please watch an episode of The Baldwins. Definitely on demand on TLC.
Yes.
TLC, you are... I would say one of the most significant members responsible for the brain rot that has occurred in our fucking culture. You piece of shit.
And the bed rot with the 600-pound. But it is like watching my 600-pound life. It's like the same thing where you're like, it is that freakish to me.
It is.
The kids, everything.
But watch another episode. Hillary Baldwin from Massachusetts She's from fucking
So
Mass.
and also, by the way, when you're caught, just like evolve from that. Don't keep doing it.
Don't. What, dude? Can you imagine if after I did that Russian joke in 2012, I just like started being like kind of Russian? You'd be like,
Yeah,
"You're
like,
Swedish and Irish," and I'm like,
No, but even if you did that, and then 3 years in,
got called out,
and everyone was talking about it, and then you just kept doing it. Here's the thing: if she lived in a Spanish-speaking country all the time, and she came back and didn't, I'm with you on that. I really dogged on Madonna when she moved with Guy Ritchie to
then
England.
she was like,
and I was annoyed by that, but then I was in London for like a week, and I was like, oh, you do end up getting an accent.
dude, there was this.
Because you don't want to be rude either and not speak their accent.
Fuck that. They kind of like it. It's like the way English guys are here.
Yeah.
They lean into their accent, lean into being an American over there. When I worked at Dos Caminos, dude, there was this girl that worked there that got hired as a hostess. And we all know hostesses.
Yeah.
They're,
Hostesses.
hello, the idiots of the restaurant. They're the reason they're hot and they're up front.
Yeah, they're not allowed to have, they actually have too many responsibilities.
Too many.
Yeah.
And anyone that's ever worked in a restaurant knows you never take a host or hostess seriously. I don't care if you call yourself a maitre d'. You're a
nothing.
fucking dork.
Yeah.
You're working in the front. No one's taking you seriously.
Yeah.
This girl started working there. Black girl doing a British accent. And everyone was like, oh, you from, she was like, oh, lovely. Like, I remember the first time we were like, I'll walk him to my table. And she's like, oh, thank you, Dan, that's lovely. And you're like, what a lovely accent. Kept it up like a month. And then this girl Rose from East London started working at as another hostess. And she was like, I'm from East London. Where are you from? And the girl was like, and then it's just American. And she goes, my boyfriend's from London. And we were like,
what
over there.
You have to quit. You quit. You walk out. No call, no show. You don't.
I would have to go. I'd have to text someone I worked with at Dose, but I think it happened pretty quickly that happened.
You gotta go. You can't. I have no interest in a liar.
Dude.
I just have no interest. I have nothing to talk to you about. If I know you're a proven liar, what the fuck am I
just
going to
getting called out on that? And they go, but it doesn't feel like people now, when they get caught lying, pay anything. They just go like, I lied, and now
here's my. See me on House of Villains.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. And then they're like, here's my redemption arc. That I'm like so sorry I lied. It's like, how about the fact that you were fucking straight up lying?
Yes.
Dude, this girl was in the pocket doing a British
so
accent.
Embarrassing, and then completely humiliated.
If someone showed up and was like, you'd be like, fuck. I don't know why I'm doing this.
It just seems so much easier to just tell the truth, and then you don't have to
just go, I wanted people to like me, so I was doing a British accent.
Yeah, just be like, oh, I was trying it out. I'm an actress. I was like method acting. I was trying to.
By the way.
That would be awesome. And by the way, that'd be cool. Especially in New York, it would be so cool to get a job and just like try out your character.
Damn, I think you're going to be okay.
Or if she did it to different tables, different accents. All of a sudden, she's like a hillbilly.
Like I used to do when I was a waiter. Sometimes when I was feeling bored, I hated waiting tables. You'd find.
I loved it.
You liked waiting tables?
I liked it.
What did you like about it?
I just liked all the interaction. I'm such an extrovert. I feed off of speaking to strangers.
Oh yeah, and
I
also
love it.
I've known you for close to 20 years now. There's nothing more Annie Lederman than you chomping gum and going, what do you two fags want to drink? There is like,
I used to be like, you guys I was like, you still haven't decided. I would slap, I would throw their menus down.
Yeah. And there's absolutely, they're like, and people think it's just Scarlett Johansson in a role. They go, I swear it's ScarJo. It's ScarJo getting ready for a role. Have you ever been in a room with her?
I haven't, no.
Because I feel like
but I definitely know Colin. It's like.
But I feel like there'd be a moment where she would like look at you and be like,
yeah.
If I saw a guy that looked exactly like me in a room, I'd be like,
I don't know that I would know she looked at me like me if people didn't tell me that. I don't know if that would register with me.
So do you think if you were in the room and someone goes, hey, Scarlett, that girl looks just like you, she would go like, yeah, I can see. Because once you
Or would she be like, maybe it depends on my behavior. If I'm acting like, if I'm too full Annie, she might be like, I don't know her.
I don't know.
I have nothing to do with her.
Or would she go like, that's how I've always wanted to act.
Oh, what if I brought something out in her?
Yeah,
what if people started going, you look like Annie Letterman?
Oh,
that's the goal.
And then what if,
vision board.
Yeah. And then she starts wearing a cheetah and then thing starts slamming Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Colin goes, can I tell you something, Annie? This has brought new life into her. She goes, first off, she's rude as fuck to everybody. But they like it. They're like into it. Yeah, that's how you'd have to like really change her life.
Yeah.
Because her changing your life, that's lame.
Yeah.
Let's have.
No, I want to have the impact.
Yeah, where she goes.
That's the power.
Yeah, go.
I'm the main character. You're my stand-in. You should be my stand-in.
She'd go, excuse me?
Oh my God, you should. I would probably say something stupid like that if I met her and just totally ruin it.
She'd go, goodbye.
Yeah, she'd be like, I don't need nonsense. Do you know that I'm rich enough to not need any nonsense?
That's what you want Alec Baldwin to be. Rich enough that he doesn't need nonsense. I wish I could go back to that movie that we did, Drunk Parents. You can see it. You can stream it.
Did you write it?
No.
It sounds like your life.
Fox did. Fred Wolf did. The guy that wrote Dirty Work, he directed it too. Fred Wolf rules, former SNL writer.
Cool.
I walked in the room to audition. I was like,
did you go to the 50th? Did you get invited?
No.
Who did they invite? They didn't invite any of our friends.
Nate, Shane.
Yeah. Just like people that have done it.
People have done the show.
I wasn't sure what level of.
No, you had to be fucking, and it was obnoxious.
Do you?
All the people around for SNL 50 that week.
I was so annoyed by it.
I mean, dude.
I'm happy for my friends. Like, obviously, celebrate your job and everything. But
it's like
on Sunset Boulevard, they had this giant like cardboard cutout thing of it, and I'm like, nobody is like cares about this right now.
It
stopped traffic. People were like, what is this?
It felt like when someone throws a big birthday party, but A, they don't invite you, and B, they're like
it's for your a dog or something.
It's like extra, where you're like, okay.
Like I know I don't want to be like hating on it because I am like it is obviously like a.
I think mine is absolutely partial jealousy of not.
Well, you have the skill set. I would obviously do it if they asked me to do it, but I don't. I wasn't born for it. You were born for it.
I wasn't born for it. I would have not survived.
All that stuff.
I do care. I do
but here's
voices
the thing,
and stuff. But I'm the way mentally I'm built. I'm not built for SNL.
No, but here's why you are built for it. You would be the star, so it wouldn't. The people that are the top, that are doing the best in all the sketches, don't have any. It's not hard for them. It's only hard for the people that are like fighting for their right to be there.
That's why.
But you think you would have that?
I would have felt like that.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be validated by getting the job.
No, my audition. Why my audition sucked? Why I completely know that both my screen tests sucked. Because I wanted it.
You were too desperate for it.
I was like,
isn't that so? When you can feel yourself like just like.
I was grossed out by it.
It's like the Donnie Darko thing, and it's like out to them, and it's just like these hands wanting to pull and they're like, get away from us.
And Lauren can see that. By the way, my two friends that got SNL, Pete and Shane, didn't want it.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's the energy. Santino and I screen tested the same year Pete got it.
And I would love to see you guys do it.
But I guarantee Santino and I were both coming off like, come on, please.
And they were, and Lauren did start like just getting people that were stand-ups too, like stand-up heavy.
They told me not to do stand-up. They were like, my agent at the time.
Can you do a little bit of it? Do you have clips of it? Can we see
I've talked about this on podcasts.
Can we see it though?
I don't think the audition's anywhere.
Can you do like a little bit of it?
I did the second year. The one thing that made Lauren Michaels laugh in the room, which they say is hard to do, was I did Winnie the Pooh Addicted to Honey.
Yeah.
And it got him like, ah!
Did you come in with no pants on?
That'd have been
just
sick.
Just a t-shirt?
Just dick, just a red tee, full. And I'm nervous, so my penis is extra small. Like my balls are bigger.
But he likes it. That's when he laughed.
He goes, oh, look at that. Oh, look, it looks like the penis is resting on his balls. Okay, now let him go. Who is this guy? I go, hi, Lauren, please. Everything's please.
Why is the penis up looking at me?
Oh, my God. And then I did, I was like, have you ever woken up in a parking lot and nothing but a red shirt? Hungry. I forgot the lines I did, but he like laughed. When I did the voice, he laughed.
I feel uncomfortable with you doing the character in front of me.
Why? I do voices all the time.
We can dissect it. I don't know why I'm feeling nervous.
I get it. By the way, however
I don't want you to bomb. I
bombed already. I bombed in this situation.
But so I want to, because I love you. I want to, but.
You want me to succeed. I get that.
But then I got nervous it wasn't gonna, and I was like,
no, it's good. The poo is good. The voices I did, I wasn't doing
But it's
anything.
Inherently, like, making up your own characters in sketches is already inherently kind of
gay. It's very gay.
That's the problem with acting is, and where you're kind of one of the only people I know that can be good at both things, because they do fight with each other. You're supposed to be too cool for acting.
Big J and I always talk about this. It's the difference between joke writing and songwriting. Songwriting, you have to be sincere and being like, I'm coming up to get. But that idea, dude, Katie and I were laughing so hard because she was in the other room the other day, and I was sitting in here sincerely trying to sing, and she heard me not be able, I couldn't get through it without dying laughing of embarrassment. Yeah, because I was like I forgot what fucking.
And
song.
You don't get embarrassed when you act.
A little bit. It took me years. I did a really bad rom-com with Kristen Milioti, who's awesome in The Penguin. Go watch her in The Penguin.
Yeah, that show was
She
great.
fucking rules. And she had to help me be like, okay, but this isn't lame. You're like acting. And I was like, this is lame.
Well, because I was like bullied like theater majors. That was what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
That was when it shifted from bullying the bullies. It was like when someone would break out into show tunes in college, I would lose my mind. We'd just be at a party. I'd be like, this is going to be fun. And it's all these horny theater majors. And they just start singing. I'm like, why are we singing?
I hated it. Oh.
I don't want you to sing. I'd rather them just start doing monologues, honestly.
There would be moments on, there was a lot of like, everyone that I worked with on Billions were like actors.
Yes, actors.
Like, good actors. Great actors.
I know, but then you get older and you're like, of course, they were like.
But they were like, they would know a song from a play that I had fucking no idea, and they'd start singing, and I'd be like, I gotta go get a coffee.
Guys,
I can't watch you. It felt like they were just like starting to les out in front of me, and you'd be like, I don't know, you guys can do this.
Yeah, this is. Do I need to be here for this?
I don't know if I can fucking watch.
Do you need my validation here?
Yeah.
Like, what do you need?
Or they would like look at you and be like, yeah, have you seen it? And you'd be like, I didn't see this.
Well, you know what happened? I was too dumb to keep doing improv because I actually really liked improv. I did all the UCB classes and stuff. But then I started getting to a level of like
they
education.
have more actor than comic.
Way more actor than comic, and they just knew more things than me. So I would just be in a scene. I'm like, am I just gonna play the idiot that doesn't know anything every time?
Yeah.
I'm like, they'd be like Native Americans. I'm like, but beyond smallpox, I really don't have anything. Like, I was like, my education level had a ceiling, and like UCB started here.
They're like, do you need me to know tribes like regionally?
No, I was like, I'm not very educated.
But that was also why I think when stand-up comics find stand-up, you go, here we go. These are all this is smoke break at the restaurant energy.
Oh, you mean when actors find it, you mean?
When actual comics find comedy, you go, this is it.
Yeah.
And by the way, probably that's how actors feel when they find acting, that they go like, here's an outlet. I think you just need an outlet. And that's what's crazy. That's what sucks, I think, right now about stand-up is you're finding a bunch of people that don't care about that being an outlet. They're just using it for money. They're just going like, I can do this and sell tickets.
It is the weirdest. It's so weird what's happening. I choose to surrender to it. I don't want to be someone that's like, back in my day, it was better. Yeah. Like, I want to just like, I believe that however anything evolves is how it's supposed to evolve. But I will say that it is weird.
Watching people without any comedic sensibilities do stand-up comedy.
Or they're just like posting like they're literally like just saying a meme.
Yeah, and you
posting
go,
a clip and it's going viral. And you're like, the reason it's going viral is because it's already a meme.
You know what it is I think there was a time in stand-up, and I think there's a lot of comics that still go by this rule, where if you've heard someone do a joke, you go like, oh, so-and-so has that joke, so I can't do that joke.
Done.
I'm telling you.
People have done word for word my jokes, and I used to like DM and be like, hey, I've done that on TV. That's like my joke. I'm known for that joke.
Did you see Joe List with Travis Kelce?
I saw a tiny bit of it.
Katie had Joe on her podcast.
Katie? It was Katie's fault?
No, it wasn't Katie's fault at all.
Oh, no, she didn't have Travis Kelce. She had Joe on.
She had Joe on, and she talked about it, and Joe was like, I love Joe's brain, because he's like, that means they were like watching a clip of me probably after him and Taylor had sex. It's like, that's where Joe's brain goes. But it is like, it used to be a thing where you were like mortified.
It would be, but they don't. I've DM'd someone who did one of my jokes, and I just said, hey man, people are like sending this to me.
Yeah,
I didn't stumble upon this. Like, people are tagging me in your comments.
But they go like, hey.
And they just don't even care.
I watched a comic who I actually kind of like recently. I like him. I like watching him. And I watched his set for like 25 minutes, and I was like, oh, that's a so-and-so joke. That's a so-and-so joke. But then I started thinking, maybe this is when we become dinosaurs, where we don't let go of that, and then it's
just like,
okay, well then I'm going to start doing some shit that maybe you see me being like, you ever smoke crack? Just doing Richard Pryor. I'm like, you take the shit.
I'm sprinkling crack over people.
Yeah, they go, oh my God.
We just start doing all the famous black people's jokes.
He goes, Soder's killing with legit killing him softly. I'm like, and then we put it on Sesame Street. Thank God. Yeah,
there's no rule. Well, it's
lawless.
I think also everyone used to be so connected. I think everything's so fractured now.
Everything's fractured.
Because like it's so fun to come back. I did all of Lewis's shows basically.
Yeah,
Have fun with all the Legion of Saints
guys.
guys.
He's the man.
But beyond them having 100 podcasts together every day.
Yeah.
There's not many people hang. The green room's not like a hang.
There's no hang.
So when I come and I do shows, I'm trying to like curate a hang.
I could argue
LA's not different.
Austin has, they have a scene right now that is still so new, the hang is still very important. Whereas LA and New York, the hangs are kind of dead because it's like old hat. You're like, I go
got like kids and shit. They're like,
but I go to this. I love living here with Katie. And my dog.
I know when you find a partner you love. I'm like, I would so much rather be with Todd, or I make Todd come with me to the Comedy Store.
Katie comes with me to shows, but I'll go to the cellar and do spots, and then be like, I'll hang while I'm waiting to do my spots. But then after my spots, I'm not like, let me stay till 2 a.m. and then Che's gonna show up, and then fucking Nate's in town, and we're gonna hang out. It's like. It was so funny because when Nate was here for SNL 50, he's like, I'm going to go to the cellar and hang with Spade and Chris Rock. And I was like, I have zero interest in that.
Yeah.
I have zero interest in sitting at a satellite table where Spade and Rock aren't going to make eye contact with me because I'm not famous enough. And then I got to watch my friend. And then my friend's going to check in with me like I'm a child playing with my toys.
I asked Chris Rock something once. It was funny because I'm friends with David, with Spade. So we always talk when we see each other. But there was something with like Chris Rock. I DM'd him. Oh, he brought me up one night or something. And I think I DM'd him and was like,
that was amazing. Thank you.
Like I just said something, whatever. And I'm sure I had a joke in there or whatever. And then I saw him like the next day or something. I was like, oh, I sent you a DM because it was like cool that you brought me up. I was like, and he was like, he said something along the lines of like, yeah, I wouldn't read that. Like it was something so cutting where I was like,
dude, I'm telling you, there's just...
And it's fine, like whatever. I don't...
Yeah, but also there's
big time me, it's fine.
It's fun to watch these like old school celebrities that had the industry and they always were like, I'm in and you're not out. And then the industry collapsed and you're like, welcome back outside,
welcome
motherfucker.
To us. Enjoy doing a YouTube special.
It's so, man, there's something so gratifying because the industry was the cool kid club where they'd go, like you'd watch someone go.
Well, you have to be plucked. You had to be plucked and like accepted.
I mean, I watched him. I watched him take Kumail. I watched him take like Pete Holmes. You watched him like take people like Pete Davidson got pulled into it and they go like, here you go. And now you're in the industry and they would like know each other and they'd like, when they meet up, they'd be like, yeah, we're in the industry. And then the industry collapsed on itself. Yes. And then now you watch them go like, we're still inside and it's great. It's like your house is collapsed.
Yes.
Stop acting like
I will say
great.
I kind of like Allie's always really nice to me, Allie Wong, but I'm always like, thanks for being nice. Because you're busy, bitch. I don't have the same stories.
I love it.
You.
I just saw Allie in LA, known Allie forever.
Yeah.
Great seeing her. One thing that did annoy me is she goes, my boyfriend loves your Cat Williams impression. And I went, it's Bill Hader.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Yeah.
Like,
give me the flowers of it being Bill Hader.
I'm dating Bill Hader. He loves
but yeah, but with Allie, I'm like,
because I love Bill Hader.
But I'll go like to Allie, like when I'm talking to her, I'm like, you're dating Bill Hader. You don't need to talk to me. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can talk to you about when I flew on my other friends' private jets. Do you know what I mean? Like the things we have in common, it's a little bit like
but that's why you go for the past. But I can also see why every single fucking person on planet is fed up with celebrities.
Yeah,
because if you're even kind of near them, you're like, what the fuck do you do? We need to start making like people that do necessary shit celebrities, like contractors and like plumbers.
I was thinking this about the trans community. I was thinking we got to get them out of being baristas. Like you have to have more important jobs.
Yeah, they need.
You're never going to be taken
fitters.
Seriously if all you. Yes, you need to be plumbers. You need to be like doing like. Do things that are helpful.
Like something that you can't do. Like if I was building a house.
A skill set.
Yeah, someone was like framing my door and I go, well, he's right over there. And they turn around and they go, You misgendered me. It's they, them. And you go, I want my door.
Of course, I can't flush the toilet. You gotta, I need you to.
I need my door framed, right?
It's like.
I need my door framed, right? They, them.
Is Taco Bell and Starbucks the only places that are hiring trans people? It could be true.
It could be. Where they also.
Is it like the military where they're paying for their transitions?
It's like the pipeline. They have recruiters. They're like, welcome to the 5th meal.
Yes.
That's
What's
where
your name?
Yeah.
And then if they find the name, they write bucket instead.
Did you go to a high school where the military called all the guys that were stupid? Because I would get so many calls from the Army.
I went to a high school of straight up freaks and juvenile delinquents.
Oh yeah, you went to an alternative high school.
Yes.
Was it actually? What was it called? Like it wasn't called
school.
But it wasn't called like an alternative high school.
It was called an alternative school. Yeah. It was in like a house.
Yeah.
There were, a lot of times there were like pillows, but we're not going to get into the details. I think you can see where it's going. If there's pillows and it's a house and everyone's bad kids.
I had one of my friend's brother went to an alternative high school, and then 2 kids I knew got sent to the alternative.
Were they
high
diddly there to them?
You know what's funny is for boys it was fights.
Yeah.
It wasn't fucking, it was fighting. Everyone was like and then you'd find out like the teachers put hands on them. Like the teachers would like.
But my girlfriends were like that too. I always was friends with these like girls that would become bipolar, or become like
now
a year after I met them, they'd be like, she's taking lithium.
Yeah.
She'd be so weird. I'm like, my friend's weird. But I always was friends with the girls that would like, they'd be like, yeah. And then I like threw the chair at my teacher and then I pulled like a chunk of her hair out and I was always like Quaker, nice.
That's so funny.
Like I was always like
here's the thing about Annie Lederman, and I've known you for a while, and I will say this right now. Annie's core is inherently good. She just likes to talk shit and she likes chaos.
I'm good at it.
But Annie is a sweetie pie.
I think I actually don't like chaos.
Well, you don't like what?
I think I don't like chaos. I think I'm delusional and think I'm fixing the chaos by being the way that I'm being.
But you love
the chaos
shit stirring.
Not shit stirring. I love shit talking behind. Like if you and I get together, we have a mutual friend. We saw them post something. We are skilled at this.
We've dropped off too.
We are skilled. We need to. I'm saying bi-weekly calls. Bi-weekly is every 2 weeks, right? Not. Twice
I would also be willing to open it to a because you need to see how phenomenal that one is.
Oh,
at shit
I
talking.
know. I've been.
We'll get on a thread.
Yes.
We'll start letting it go. And this is always why I was so surprised that you and Wolf didn't fucking bond.
I think we just never. Well, Wolf. Here's what I'll say about.
Because Wolf is a phenomenal person to reach out to shit talk.
I think she had a little bit of a trajectory that was leapfrogging over me.
Over most.
And
over
I think,
everyone.
And that's fine. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure
that might have been some insecurity, coming up. But listen,
I remember once she was like drunk at cabin, and
Michelle Wolf drunk is one of the most.
She was
fun
drinking
things.
red wine.
Yeah.
And she was like swirling it.
She came from the banking industry. She was a banker. So she shows up in comedy.
And she applied this shit into comedy. And she was just like, ding.
Blew right by us.
Right. But she was drinking her wine and she goes, she was like, Annie, I always like admired you or something. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I will keep this forever. And I needed it for a while. Yeah. When she was like big timing me, I was like, I will always have this moment.
Remember? And you had your little fucking glass.
But I also don't, I was never like offended by, I'm kind of like impressed by people that do that. And she was always cool with all of you guys. It wasn't like she was.
Shit.
Yeah, she wasn't.
Legitimately one of my favorite human beings on the planet.
I was, yeah.
And it's funny because when you see that, you go like, it is. You're right. There's something about finding someone that you're friends with that you can go like, can we talk about this?
I do like when you're talking shit on someone and you go to your mutual friend and you go, I love this person. Like when you have to do that and you're like, listen, but this has to be said.
You know what happened is shit talking, it got too public.
It got too public. And I think the audience, now that we're online, the audience is shitting on us too. So then
Which
you're
I'm fine with, because by the way, I truly think it's a fucking crazy privilege and luck that I get to be funny for a living.
Also
shout out Skanks.
So they posted that I was going to be on the show.
Yeah.
And I looked at like the post and it was all like, fucking, she's ugly. She's like, women aren't funny.
Way,
like you're not going to be funny.
Everyone that's writing that, super hot dude.
Yeah, no. But it doesn't matter.
0% body fat.
But I got kind of excited about it because I had a very fun. I was being very fun. I was having I had an excellent time with them. So I was like, let that be your thought while you're going in. Let that be your thought.
Yeah.
And whether you think I'm pretty or ugly, I don't care.
Yeah.
But like, it was just like, okay.
You're like showing them up.
Check it out.
Well, because the old way of celebrity was like being like, and act like a politician.
Yeah.
Politics are all fucked up now. Celebrities are all fucked up now. It's just kind of like we're fucking done with all of them.
Yeah. But I think the thing is too, I think in New York, like we all were together so early in our careers too, that it's like, you know that we like each other. It's not like there's that base.
Yeah, we were all the same.
We like each other.
Yeah.
So I can make fun of you.
We fucking sat around and drank and talked shit.
And I think we made each other kind of like better because you would like kind of fuck with someone about something real.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, maybe I do need to.
I mean, dude, there's still moments I have it. That's why I love doing the regs with Bobby, Joe, and Lewis is there's moments where I go, I am being a bitch.
Yeah.
But they're my friends and you're like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I am a little thorny cunt.
I know. And if your feelings are hurt by it, it's like, that's the lose.
But it's good.
Yeah.
That's when you go like, what am I upset about?
Yeah, what am I getting upset about? So embarrassing.
Because the people that don't, that's what sucks now that we're older in this business. We've watched people we know and some people we don't know get so famous that you watch them get insulated that no one tells them the truth anymore.
Oh, it's
crazy. And you're too far away, which I think that's success in any job.
Yeah.
Like when someone becomes the CEO or the vice president and they're like moving up, people stop being like, yeah, I was in like accounting with that guy. That guy is an idiot. Yeah. He's my buddy. We used to drink beers over at Fridays.
You should have seen him back in the day when he drank.
And then he like comes by and he's like, hey, so, and you go, blah, blah, and your like tone changes. It's weird.
There's certain people that have gotten to a level of success where I'm like, I literally don't know what to talk to them about.
Yeah. Like that's what's fun about Shane is he's remained so much. Yeah. He's still Shane.
Well, he's built out of trash. Like he's
you got to have a trash. Even Nate, I'll go like, "What are you talking about?" And he'll be like, "Oh no, man, that's what you do." And I go, "Shut up."
Nate's the best. I'm always like, Nate, you're the only one I can still fucking talk to.
You go, "Shut up." But that's like when he was like, "Oh, we're gonna go hang out with Spade and Rock." I was like, "I am good.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm not a hot young girl that Spade wants to fuck, and I'm not famous enough for Rock to make eye contact with."
Yeah.
So no thanks. That's when he was like,
I think he could have had fun.
He came back from that, he did that huge show with like Gaffigan, Seinfeld, and all them, and he's like, Seinfeld's the best. And I go, Seinfeld sucks.
Yeah.
Any young comic will tell you.
The only thing he's doing that's so funny is being like, I don't care about Palestine is so funny.
I mean, out loud with his chest.
Oh, it's so
out loud.
I'm
with his chest. He's going like,
I want to see a TLC documentary of him just saying things like that to people, like just a half hour once a week.
Of him going, what? I don't care about Palestine. He goes, in 6 months, there's not even going to be Palestinians. And you go, fucking Jerry.
He's being so direct.
It's wild. Even Kramer's going like, Jerry, fucking
you're
pull
really
the brakes.
about to ruin your career.
He's like, Jerry, you're going real nuts. He's like, I'm just saying, stop the aid. You need to stop the aid to the Palestinian children. They don't need food if they're dead.
Yeah, he's like, let's just kill them already.
But with the Seinfeld thing, that's what he notices now. You notice if you stop aid, they die.
Yeah. Isn't it weird?
There's something about pro-Israel
What's
Seinfeld.
the deal with,
That's so funny to me.
Kids wanting to live.
He goes, no, America's giving us 2,000-pound bombs. Why not 4,000-pound bombs? Like, it's fucking wild.
But he's been so rich for so long.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like a duke or like it's like someone of royalty.
Well, we see people like where they start and then where they get. And,
sure.
And really seeing the reality of how much money people have and how much like power you just get from being able to snap you could be like,
dude, I've said this to Shane.
You could go. Shane right now could go, no. I want to snowboard out of a helicopter.
And they'll get it done.
Yeah.
Someone will get it done.
In the Alps tomorrow.
A guy will be looking at his phone going like this. That's a great idea. I'll get on it. I got a snowboard.
I want my favorite pie waiting for me at the end.
But I've said this to Shane. He's the only person that can talk to Joe Rogan on the same level. Like, he's the only one that can talk to Rogan and be like...
I wonder if they'll ever get to a point where they get to a place...
I don't know, but that's how relationships work.
Yeah.
But Shane was like, I was telling him on Protect Our Parks that leg kicks are gay. And I was like, this is what I mean. Because the bully energy, to bring it all back to what we were talking about at the beginning, that bully energy, when people get that powerful, it's the reason like Wall Street guys go get their nuts stepped on by dominatrix, because all they have is...
I did see the first scene of Billions.
Streaming now on Paramount Plus. But they need that. these guys that are like, buy, sell, you fucking piece of shit. Yes. I just made $2 million at lunch. And then they go and this woman goes, no, don't touch your penis. And they go, please, mistress, please, may I touch myself? And she's like, you're a slug. And he's like, oh, God. And it is, those guys like bullying.
Yeah.
So when a guy comes along, like, that's why it's funny to watch people with Philly energy be around famous people because they're like, what are you, gay?
It's so hard.
Like, even Jay, who's the sweetest, when he's around celebrities, he's like, this sucks. I don't want to be around this. Like,
because you can't be your full express self around them.
But LA people go right into it. LA people go like, oh my God, you are amazing in this.
Well, sometimes I'm like that, I'll be honest. But it depends on if I feel that
12
way.
years in LA, how much is that taking your soul?
But I have not even noticed a problem until the past 3 months, really. I've just been like, wow, I feel like I can't be self-expressed. I feel like my superpower doesn't work in this town. Could.
You like go and it's like the little zaps. Well,
because here's the thing. You can't like I could eviscerate Hollywood. It'd be awesome. I probably
Why don't you do that?
Because I still have this part that like is a fan of people and wants to
kill that.
Know, I have to kill that. But it's like, you know who I really geeked out in front of? And she did finally follow me back. Minka Kelly. Like the people that I'm obsessed with are like probably girls you all jerked off to.
And what, from when you were younger and then you want to be their friends?
Well, I want to like be them. Like, no, I don't even ever need to see them again, but I will literally rob a florist to give people their flowers. Like I'm like,
well, did you see that picture?
Because I'm a hater. So when I like something, I really want to give it. I want to even out the.
Oh.
But so I'm like, I'm weak in my knees.
Did you see Alex Edelman in the picture of him?
I was in
Jessica Alba and Alex Edelman. People were sending that. Dude, that photo went around to every comic. The second it hit the internet.
Is he using the tunnels, the Jew tunnels to get to these women? Like, what is he doing?
He's popping up in their bedroom. He's
always like foaming at the mouth.
He's like, hey, so just crawled in here. Thought I could, dude, it was wild. That was like a thing.
And is that a confirmed thing or were they just?
No, it's just a picture on the internet that comedians were like, no fucking way.
It was getting circulated.
Yeah, it pinged everyone's phone.
Isn't it crazy that when you get successful, all your friends are just screen grabbing all your
They're going like, this fucking shit.
Fucking
that's why you got to stay right below.
Or you have to just stop giving a fuck, which is so hard.
That's what I'm saying. That's the evolution of Andy Letterman.
Because if you think about it, like I always worry about, my whole life I've worried about being too narcissistic, which obviously we're in a business that leans towards narcissism or whatever, but I always want to be self-aware. I want to make sure I'm not like, I do appreciate when people tell me that I said something because I'm like, I didn't, like, I want to learn that because I didn't register that at all. But I want the room to feel good. I want people to feel good. And, so wait, what was I going to say? Fuck.
We were talking about.
I took one of those weed candies from back in the day.
That
kid from the stand that gives them out. Remember those? Weed
Sam.
candies?
Shout out Sam.
Yeah. Sam, you fuck.
I was saying with calling people out, that's got to be your last evolution. You got to learn how to kill off. Because I'm trying to kill off the people pleaser.
It's really hard. But, so this is what I was listening to. I was listening to a thing about this, and then I was thinking about it. The people that I admire are more narcissistic than me. The people that are succeeding to the level I want to succeed.
Take what they want.
The people that are creating the things that I think are the best. And maybe not narcissistic in the way that people are like looking. Is my ex-boyfriend narcissistic or whatever? But like. You want your doctor to be narcissistic. I want my doctor to be like my ego. I don't think you want your doctor
to be narcissistic.
I want their ego to be in their tally of how well they do.
Oh, you want them
their
to
reputation.
If they do well, you want. Yeah. Or if they do poorly, you want them to hurt.
Most of my best friends in this business that are doing the best, like they're talking and I'm adding to what they're talking about. And if I say something and they're not into it, like you're like, oh, you want to talk about what you want to talk about. And that's why am I not doing that? Why am I not going into a green room being like, bitch, we're talking about what I want to. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to come off. And then I'm like, but everyone I like does that.
I think it's big because what you're admitting right now is something that I can identify with, which is jealousy of an ability that you don't have. I am jealous because I'm jealous of people who
don't care about what people think.
Yeah. Who are genuinely like, I'm just going to live.
It's not even jealous because jealous I had to kill. Like jealous did die in my 30s for me. But like, I do feel like it's like, it's almost like turning into admiration and going, wow, that person like has a skill set that I don't have. Like there's people that have done me so dirty where I'm like, what a dumb bitch.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but I have to give them props because the way they played me like a fiddle is unbelievable.
I'm watching people. I think you nailed it. Yeah, it's admiration because there's people in this business that I'm watching that I go, damn, You like did that.
Yes.
You did that and you didn't care.
And bitch, I already have the reputation. I'm like just not even acting out on the reputation I have. I'm like, I gotta fucking use this reputation.
Damn, dude, this is inside the mind of a hater with Annie Lederman. This is absolutely.
But I'm a hater family. My family raised me a hater. I used to get in trouble I would go to elementary school and I would just say the things my parents said about my teachers and be in so much trouble.
Yes, so it's so funny because mine was, I was always trying to break tension.
Yes.
I was always trying to break tension. I wasn't trying to hate. I was just trying to be like, we're all having fun.
Right.
Guys,
but calling out a thing that nobody's saying breaks the tension.
Breaks the tension.
Which is hatering.
Yeah. And also, but like when you come from a place where you go like, guys, things are good. See, things aren't really, really bad.
Yeah.
And then you go, I'm breaking the tension. I'm breaking.
Yeah, but no, I definitely feel like.
To Annie Wood.
Yes, listen to Annie Wood.
Watch everything Annie Letterman does. Watch the
evolution of my narcissism.
Yeah, dude. But you are a person that I've always, like, since Cabin Bar, since Creek, I always loved bumping into you because I was like, I knew Annie was going to talk some shit.
Yeah, we got some stuff to say.
I knew when I saw you, you were going to have an opinion about something.
When Nate moved to LA, we both moved to LA at the same time, and there was no other New York comic there.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we had a good
I remember that. You guys
time.
were thick as thieves.
Then he moved and didn't tell me he moved. For 6 months, I'm on the phone with him like...
Oh, when you come in, where are you at tonight?
Yeah, and then he's like, I'm on the road or whatever.
Just the funniest thing in the world.
6 months this man liked me.
Nate was the first person to live in a city satellite to New York and LA, but you couldn't do it back then. He lived in Nashville.
He was a closeted
He lived in
commuter.
Nashville, but he had an apartment in LA that he would like he was hiding from the feds.
Yes.
He would like go to the apartment in LA, which it's so funny because the guy, Travis, that you would get the keys. He would let you, like me, Vecchione, anybody, stay at his apartment.
He couldn't let me because he didn't tell me he didn't live there.
Yeah. Couldn't give you a lie. But you would go like, I got to go to LA for a week. You'd be like, stay at my apartment. Which you save money on hotels. Save money
it's amazing.
It was incredible.
Stay at their place.
But the guy, it's so funny because the guy you get the keys from at the In-N-Out by LAX is now his tour manager.
Oh, really?
And so every time I see Travis, I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm stopping by to pick up keys for the In-N-Out.
Oh, that's awesome. I know that guy. I met that guy.
Yeah.
But it is fun, even though we're all fractured, it is fun when we meet up. Like, he was doing the Win.
Yeah.
And I was in Vegas for the fires. I was like, I'm so traumatized. I have to gamble.
Yeah.
And so we got to, like, hang out with him and stuff.
Dude, it's really awesome watching, like, Tim Dillon become Tim Dillon. Yeah. And he's the same.
Yes.
He just happens to be, like... It's so funny when I watch people kind of like, this is something he's coming on the podcast. It's something I want to talk about is like, I watch everyone else grift, and for Tim, it's not grifting.
Tim
it's just
has
him being like,
different goals.
He goes, I've always wanted to talk to Steve Bannon and the vice president.
Tim is
he's the man,
and he can really
he's
do
the
no
funniest
wrong.
too.
He's set his fan base up. He could do no wrong.
I
loved him. I loved him.
Guy.
Staying at his place right now.
Annie Wood is the podcast.
Yes.
Annie Letterman is the best.
AnnieLetterman.com/shows. Come see me. When does this come out?
I don't know. We might put it out Tuesday.